Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for a few seconds for everyone to be settled in for this informative and interactive webinar. In addition, some housekeeping items. There is going to be a poll that will be appearing in your screen. This will definitely enhance to get to know more about your business, your profile, and how we could continue to tailor additional webinars and resources for your business needs as well. If you have a question, by all means, I strongly encourage you to type it in the Q&A option, as my colleague Frederick and I will be moderating the questions and answering them throughout the presentation as well. By all means, introduce yourself. Are you in business, starting a business, have a business idea? By all means, I want to get to know more about you and how I can incorporate some of my ideas, Frederick's experience towards launching your business successfully, and at the same time having some aha moments throughout today's webinar as well. In addition, the webinar is being recorded, so if you have to step out, answer a phone call, by all means, we'll be more than happy to send you an email with a link through our YouTube channel, and along with today's presentation as well. So whether you could have as a recap, also with our contact information on how we can continue to working together for your business needs. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the program manager of the Florida SBDC at FIU. I'll be presenting today along with my colleague Frederick Bonneau. He is one of our business consultants here at the center as well. Just a brief description of myself. I have worked in the center for over 6 years. I've co-consulting with our marketing and startup consultants by providing some innovative tips for entrepreneurs on what would it take to be a successful, how to start your business successfully. In addition, I am like yourself. I have that entrepreneurial spirit. So I have managed and launched several successful side hustles, and I'm a 3-time FIU alum with a master's in business administration and a master's in marketing. Frederick, do you want to introduce yourself and a brief description of yourself?
Yes, hello everybody and welcome. I've been with the SBDC for over 15 years, and my specialty is pre-venture, assisting clients starting their own business. And I normally cover incorporation process, corporate documents, licensing requirements, and business planning. I also assist clients with web development, e-commerce, SEO analysis, and digital marketing. So this will be part of the assistance that I can provide to you. Otherwise, I do speak French, English, and Spanish.
Yep. And just a brief recap, like our center in the last 2 years, we have launched over 175 businesses from, I have a business idea, or I have the industry knowledge, I want to have my own business. By all means, Frederick is one of our seasoned consultants and our specialized consultants that will assist you, guiding you the right steps on how to incorporate and the what's next, the capital needs, the business planning, the digital marketing, the website assistance, as we're more than happy to assist you on that front as well. Oftentimes people ask me, what is my why? Why do I enjoy doing what I'm doing? Well, it's easy. I enjoy assisting aspiring entrepreneurs, as such yourself, to start and successfully launch their businesses to create that economic impact in the community. Everyone has their reason why they want to start their own businesses, but this is my why as to why I enjoy assisting you. Throughout today's webinar, there's going to be 2 objectives. One of the objectives is to discuss entrepreneurship, what it takes, what makes a successful entrepreneur, and what strategies to turn an idea into a business. And at the same token, it's provide those actionable steps and key resources to start the business the right way. There's different avenues how to start your own business, but having the right way is more cost effective and appropriate in terms of getting the goals that you want to accomplish along the way. So I just want to provide a brief disclaimer. This information is intended to provide information on entrepreneurship and the steps that you may want to take to start your business. Obviously, no two businesses are the same. No all scenarios or circumstances will be presented today. There are other considerations of steps that you may that you might to follow, which are not included. That includes some tax related issues, some legal issues. We strongly encourage you to consult with your tax or legal professional for those informations in those key areas. So we'll go on a holistic view, provide some examples, some ideas, but for the nitty gritty, we strongly encourage you to meet with your professionals in the tax and legal realm. A brief description of who we are. Who is the Florida SBDC network? And so the SBDC network is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration. We're your local SBDC center if your business is located or want to be located here in Miami-Dade, Monroe County. There's 9 regional centers across the entire state of Florida. So if you're located in the Orlando area, Jacksonville, Tampa, Pensacola area, by all means, I'll be more than happy to connect you with your local SBDC center. In addition, if you're located outside the state of Florida, don't hesitate. I'll be more happy to connect you with your local SBDC as well. There's over 1,300 centers across the entire country, and we have a great relationship with all the centers in this country. In addition, where's the services that the network provides? It's the one-on-one consulting, the startup assistance, access to capital, international trade and development, marketing growth strategies, government contracting. Also, one of the key areas that you could definitely benefit from is that market research, the data, the information, to know if this is a great product or service that you'll be providing. Are these the ideal clients that you want to solicit to? In addition, trainings and workshops, as such, you're here today. Now, by a show of hands in the chat, do you know how to start your own business? Have you been successful in terms of incorporating or having like a side hustle on that front? Okay, perfect. So you're part of side hustle. So you have some ideal clients that have already purchased your products and how to continue to grow. Like, for example, we've had clients started on a shared kitchen space or their own kitchen, and they continue to grow, get more traction, farmers market, online, and before you know it, they have their own brick and mortar shops. And perfect. Yeah, so we will be having some Spanish webinars later on as well. So we'll be more than happy to help you out on that front. So we'll provide you, John, the question was like, do you have a business or do you know how to start your own business? Like, do you have the appropriate steps to do so? So per Webster, what is the entrepreneurship? Well, entrepreneurship is defined as the activity of setting up a business or businesses taking on the financial risk in hope for profit. So in other words, entrepreneurs are risk takers. The main purpose of today's presentation is to help you take that risk while making more of a calculated risk. If you know what you're getting yourself into, you'll be able to have a growth strategy and actionable strategies across the way. So you'll be successful and achieving the goals and milestones throughout the process.
Okay, so let me interrupt you. One of our attendees asking has already an LLC and wants to address the nonprofit aspect of starting a business. So what does the center can do for the non-for-profit?
Yeah, Tahimi, how are you? So pretty much nonprofits is outside the scope of our services, but I'll be more than happy to provide you the information for the nonprofit route, like the grant writings, some additional legal, not legal, accounting information for the nonprofit route. Okay, is there any other questions?
Well, of course, a question that comes back all the time is what kind of legal entity to start with, whether it's a corporation, an LLC, a partnership, a sole proprietorship, and so forth. In my initial session with whoever register, I will be sending you information as to each legal entity and the pros and cons, and that will help you decide which one to choose. I highly recommend to have your legal professional or your CPA tell you what will be best for you, since they know more about your personal financial situation and legal situation.
Yeah, and we'll go more in depth of the 4 different types of business entities on the back end of the presentation. As there'll be some examples, but at the same time, it's best to touch base with your respected tax or legal professionals, because it's no two businesses are the same. I could have an LLC, but Frederick could do a partnership, and it's based on what's the nature of the beast. Okay. Here's some successful entrepreneurs that have failed, but also taken some risks and have been successful at the same time. Fred Smith, his professor gave him a C on his paper on the new freight service, but he took the risk. He went to Vegas with the last $5,000, and he ended up getting some money by winning in the tables, and that's how he was able to launch his business. Look at Henry Ford. Who would have thought a world without the Ford Motors cars? His first 2 companies failed, but he persevered. Hamdi Ulakaya is from Chobani Yogurt. His company was barely breaking even when he saw financing to buy a craft yogurt plant. And at the same time, Heinz, the company went bankrupt after 6 years of starting. Can you imagine a world without ketchup? But at the same token, Mr. Smith and Ulakaya, they have also received funds and assistance from the SBA. They have received the SBA backed loans as well. So it's not no two businesses, like the businesses are too great. They don't start from somewhere. These are some classic examples that they received federal loans that you too can also apply for, and show that the scalability, the bankability, to obtain the necessary funds to have a successful business venture. In addition, why oftentimes people take the risk to start their own business? It could be, for opportunity, for profit, independence. I want to be my own boss, a challenge. My reason why I have my side hustles and I want to have a legacy for my family, and provide them that financial opportunity. Frederick, why do you take your risk in launching your business?
The risk of launching a business, really, if you are so motivated to be your independent, starting your own business, is very rewarding. And that should be one of the main elements for you to pursue it. That doesn't mean that you have to give up your day-to-day job. You can always work on the side with your business and start small, baby step, until you become independent with that business.
And what does it take to become a successful entrepreneur? Well, be self-directed, self-nurturing, action-oriented, highly energetic, at the same time, the tolerant of uncertainty. That right there, the tolerant of uncertainty, it's something that we have all experienced in the last 2 years. Like I have a business I just started in 2019. I have gained some traction. They weren't certain of the future, and it was a lot of roller coaster. Oftentimes, folks, unfortunately, they got laid off for load, and they're like, what? I have time that I want to launch my side hustle, my hobbies, and they've been successful. So by being energetic, self-directed, they've been able to prosper at the same time. So it's always that window of opportunity. Like can I be able to go ahead and succeed, to be successful at the same token?
I want to mention that um, John Gibson asked, he has a business since 1995, and he wishes to move it to the Tampa area. Is this webinar for me or not really? Well, of course, this seminar is always for everybody, whether they move their business from one state to another. Let me keep in mind that if you move your business from one part of the state to within the state, you don't need to make any changes within your corporate records except for addresses and so forth. However, if you're bringing a business from another state, you will need what we call an authorization to conduct business as a foreign entity. Your corporation from, let's say, New York City, state of New York, will be required to get an authorization to conduct business in the state of Florida. And the same if you have Florida corporation and you want to conduct business in another state. We can definitely assist you with that part of getting that authorization for your business to continuing doing business in the state of Florida.
And John, I'll be able to connect you afterwards with my colleague in the Tampa area to connect you with the appropriate consultant in the startup realm. And then at the same token, where to learn about entrepreneurship? Well, you can learn from others. Investigate your local colleges on small businesses, entrepreneurship, talk to successful entrepreneurs. You're here. This is a good opportunity for you to learn what entrepreneurship has to offer and start connecting the dots. Get some experience, gain 3 years of experience in the field, start a part-time business to start. As well, take over a successful firm, serve an apprentice, eventually take over once the owner steps down, purchase an established business like a franchising or franchise. We've seen some clients taking over successful firms because it could be a family-owned business. The baby boomers are retiring. The next generation doesn't want to take over the business. So this is an opportunity for them to buy that business. So it's already on the kit. They already have clients. They already have traction in sales. So it's just grab and go. So these are some opportunities on how you can learn entrepreneurship from knowledge, from the actual experience in the field, and or being in the business to take over afterwards.
Victor Princeton was asking, if we want to start a business in the internet, do we need to have all the same legal documentation from the SBDC? The answer is yes. Actually, a lot of our small clients start their new business on the internet, whether it's an e-commerce based business or home-based business. They still are required to have certain, requirements in terms of registering the business within the state of Florida.
Yeah. And then now, in terms of the idea of the company to opportunity, just think of it. Is your business idea a good opportunity to scale? Are you fulfilling a market need based on the needs of your customers? Will you be able to sell your product and service at a reasonable price and still be profitable? Can you get your product and service to customers before the window of opportunity closes? And will this business continue to be sustainable? Perfect example, beepers. If I decide right now, it's like, Frederick, I want to open up a beeper store. Who uses beeper nowadays? So I have already lost that window of opportunity. I don't have, my customers, they don't need that anymore. But if I decide to, like, let me start creating, pens that it automatically writes on paper by you dictating. So you have to start writing. That could be a market need, for administratives or for doctors or students. who doesn't like to write, it automatically writes it for them. So pretty much you have to make sure that the window of opportunity is still open for you to take advantage, to fulfill the market needs, that's scalable, that's able to generate profit, but at the same time, it's taking it to the next level.
I highly recommend, when you have a business idea, to jump on it and start registering a business, regardless if your business idea is going to mature and be fulfilled. Because all this paperwork, you want to put that aside so you can concentrate on your business idea. But if you wait, then that business idea is going to be taken by somebody else, most likely.
Yep. And then several successful startup strategies. Remember, you don't need to create a new product or service from scratch. Most companies didn't create new products and services. Instead, they brought new strategies and innovations to the already existing marketplace. Everyone has a traditional example of, the Walmart with retail stores, Amazon with traditional bookstores, but it's how can you stand out and fulfill the needs of the customers that are not being fulfilled yet. And it brings it this case in point right here. It's, you don't need to reinvent something new as, hey, we're new, we're the new kids on the block, come to us because we have lower price. But oftentimes, it's all about the brand perception. If you have lower cost, is the quality good or bad? Then at the same token, if it's already an existing market, identify the consumer weaknesses or the competitor weaknesses, and the market opportunities that creates that competitive advantage. And we have consultants that can assist you in doing that market research to understand the consumer behavior. So you'll be able to have a competitive landscape as to, these are my targets and these are the primary and secondary clients that I would love to have as my customers. In my case, for example, I have an e-commerce business. Oftentimes people email me, why is my shipping too expensive? My response is that I give you the white glove service. I make sure that my packaging is tip-top shape, and you'll be getting it as if I'm giving it to you in person. They could go elsewhere, but they're not gonna get that same level of service. In addition, I send them thank you notes during the holidays, as who do you know that could definitely benefit from buying from my store. And at the same time, I give them discounts and send them gift cards during the holidays. Thank you for being a loyal customer. How else can I assist you? Even though that it costs me a little bit more, but it's having that family oriented and identifying those market opportunities as the personal touch, the white glove service. So are there any other questions in the chat or in Q&A? Frederick?
Can we get all the outline and steps to start the new business by email? You certainly will once you register with our center, and you will be basically receiving all those steps via email, in addition to a consultation with myself or another consultant, depending on of your business need.
Yep. So you don't have to say it in the chat, but it'll be like a self-reflection. Do you have a business idea that will disrupt that marketplace that you want to enter? And right here, I am presenting to you the 4 key steps. Sorry about that. I'll be presenting to you the 4 key steps to starting up right. We have discussed already the idea phase. Now, how do we turn this idea to plan it on paper, how to look for the financing, and how to successfully launch? So these are the 4 walls for your business venture. Now, for planning the business, you need to conduct proper planning to lay a strong foundation. So some of the actionable areas in this area includes understand your market, develop that business model, in addition, creating that business plan. So think of it like you're not going to start building the roof without building those 4 walls. Now, by understanding your market, you need to understand who are the consumers that are unsatisfied, have the needs, who have both the resources and the willingness to buy from you. So you should set out how to fulfill the market needs by offering top quality and great service at a fair price. And at the same token, have the ability to know the market and quickly adapt to the market needs. So think of it, is it easier to mitigate through a channel a cruise ship or a canoe? If you see that there's a big tidal wave. So by being a small business, you're able to adapt quickly. And like I said, be tolerant of uncertainty. So you're able to pivot quickly. One of my favorite examples is 7-Eleven. The founder of 7-Eleven, Mr. Joel Thompson, he always said that give the customers what they want, when and where they want it. So for example, in 7-Eleven here in the United States, it's a gas station, it's a quickie mart, grab snacks, drinks, everyday products on the go. But look at Indonesia. It's a trendy spot where young people hang out, meet friends, surf the web. In Taiwan, you're able to service your bicycle and photocopy. So by understanding the market, you're able to know what's the landscape and how to be successful. Any questions in the chat or in Q&A? Yes, you'll be receiving the slides and also the link for the YouTube of today's recording as well. Okay. So as noted, you can gain direct experience with a market by working in an existing business or networking with peers in the industry. Get to know them. If you don't have access, don't worry. We have information that can assist you to access it on the market via the market industry, the research, as such, the Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, Department of Labor. And the good thing is that the SBA has some really good websites that can assist you to obtain these public databases. Now, by understanding the market, you should factor some information. What's the demand? What's the market size? How many competitors are within that market? The economic indicators, the location, the pricing. So for example, if I want to open up a coffee shop in Miami Beach, will that be successful as opposed to open up an ice cream parlor? By doing so, how many ice cream parlors are there versus coffee shops? In a hot summer day, I know for sure I would love some ice cream as opposed to coffee. So am I pricing myself a little bit too expensive, too low? What's the pricing sweet spot that my ideal clients would love to buy from me? At the same time, the market size, would I be only focusing on a 2-block radius or a 3-mile radius because there's no other ice cream shops in the area? So these are some information that you should definitely do to fully understand your market and also the location. Is it a high traffic area, or is it in the middle of a building that's pretty not accessible? Is there not parking? So those are some items to consider while launching your business. Now, the two key elements to create a successful business model is the value proposition and that go-to-market strategy. So what is the value proposition? It's the clear, compelling statement on what unique value your company is bringing to the table, to that market. Oftentimes, we have clients that they tell me, Jesus, you know what? I have this great service that I'm going to offer it to everyone. I'm going to be satisfying everyone's needs. How am I different? I'm the only one in the market. That right there is, there's no research that has been done, and we'll be able to assist. Like, there might be additional entities that will be able to satisfy the needs that you're trying to look for in those clients. So these are some sample questions you need to ask yourself to fully analyze and self-evaluate your business model And right there creates that threshold and starting point. So you could go straight towards your value proposition. Now, in the go-to-market strategy is that step-by-step roadmap for getting your products and service to those customers. It's different from marketing strategy, but it should be consistent in terms of achieving your value proposition and how to set yourself apart from your competitors. In this case, in my example, was like I do within a 24-hour shipping when someone buys from my website. I do the white glove service. Those are my value propositions and my go-to-market strategies. By defining that target market, identifying your customer shows how you will reach your customers and outlicensing the pricing models. It could be a subscription base. It could be a sample trial period. By having these business models, you'll be able to be successful and see what sticks, what doesn't stick, what works, what doesn't, towards your venture. In addition, here are some really good websites that can assist you in developing the business models in terms of the value proposition, the go-to-market strategies. So like I said, you don't have to take a picture of it. You will be receiving this link, the presentation, so you'll be able to copy the links to your browser. Now, business planning. Just by a show of hands, have you ever done a business plan? Have you been intimidated by a business plan? Is it overwhelming? Is it fun? How's been your in the chat? How's it been your experience writing a business plan?
Jesus, I think you can put the fun part out of the equation.
Well, the good thing about a business plan is that it doesn't have to be intimidating. It pretty much, it's understanding the audience, and it could be a simple 5-page business plan going over the main talking points. Because oftentimes, like what Frederick said, that even if you don't have a business, already start implementing some of the strategies in place before someone takes it away. So by developing the business plan, it doesn't have to be right the first time, but at least you're putting those ideas into paper and creating that skeleton of the business that you want to envision to have. This is what we see a lot of entrepreneurs, all of our clients, that's where they lose track when developing that business plan, because it's overwhelming, it's scary, it's like going to a dentist. But at the same time, once you know that it's flawless, it's easy, it's pain-free, this is where you're able to present it to potential owners for a specific audience, for the bankers, for investors, even for your day-to-day operations. So, like I said, don't delay the idea of drafting a business plan, the opportunity to move forward. Let's focus on.
Jesus, I would like to bring
Go
up
for it.
Regarding the business plan. This is a living document. This is not a business plan that you do once and then put it away once you got your loan or whatever. This is basically your blueprint for the lifetime of your business. And it's very important every year after year to make adjustment in the projections, in all those financial projections, so you know exactly where you're heading and avoid some pitfall. So the business plan is something I will also address towards the end of my consultation with you guys, before I can refer you to one of our business plan consultants that can work it even more before you can also qualify for financial assistance.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, like focus on how you can get the idea out of your head onto a paper, onto a page. And the business model canvas is a really good starting point for you to create and start doing that outline of your business plan. From the business plan, it asks what's your business, your value propositions, your customer relationships, the customer segments. So you could have your primary and secondary clients that you like to market to, or some key activities, or your key partners. What's your financial projections, your revenue streams, your cost structure. So this business model canvas is a great outline for you to develop the business plan. just to get the ball rolling on that front as well. And also, like I said, I don't want you all to leave empty-handed. There is a great links as well on how to develop a business model canvas, several templates for you, so you can start doing plug and play. So that you'll be pretty much, I'm giving you the homework before Frederick gives it to you. When you're meeting with Frederick or with other specialized consultants in our team, because these are some of the items that's okay, I need business planning assistance. Well, here's some links that can assist you. So you could plug and play, we could review it, and we could take it for the next steps. So these are great tools for your toolbox. Definitely, I encourage you to take advantage of it, so you'll be able to maximize the sessions with our team. And like what we've been emphasizing, when you're ready to write a business plan, understand that it's tailored to your specific audience. By using your executive summary, that is your way to catch your reader's interest and draw potential partners, bankers, investors. So in other words, your elevator pitch. How can I be interested in your business? Once again, right here are some links for the business plans. B Plans, it's a really good website that I have seen, that is a plug and play template of the industry that you would like to consider launching to. So like if you can do a restaurant, they have some templates that you could use. So I encourage you to use the free version, so that you're able to get the idea and get the samples, until when meeting with our business planning consultants, we'll hone it down, go more specific based on all the overhead costs of the food items, the pricing structures, or if I want to do like a service business, they have several templates as well based on the industry as well. Now, financing. This is a third part of having the third key step, financing. We have already have the idea phase. Now we're planned. Now we're financing. How do we get money? Well, before you launch your website, the doors, you have bills to pay. So do you know how to calculate your startup expenses? Is it, what type of business are you doing? Is it brick and mortar? If it's a service, is it online? It's best to start thinking of calculating your expenses. Is a one-time expense? Is a monthly expense? We strongly encourage it to be symmetrical based on your business plan. The business plan will be good to have the projections and the growth of the business for the next 3 to 5 years. Do the same exact thing in terms of calculating your expenses for the next 3 to 5 years, to create that story, that narrative, and the projections while you're presenting it to respective financial institutions, the potential investors, based on the growth and traction that you'll be providing. Some of the key expenses that you anticipate to have when launching your business could be the office space, inventory, equipment, licensing, insurances, salaries. So this is based on, like I said, no two businesses are the same. So right here, you could do like entire checklist as to, these are my anticipated expenses. Once again, I don't want you to feel empty-handed, overwhelmed. How do I do it? The SBA website has a fillable spreadsheet that you can use as a template. So take advantage of it. The SBA is a resource. We're the technical resource center of the SBA, so we're here to help you out. So use your tax dollars at hand. Take advantage. Go into the SBA website. How to launch your business. How to grow. They have great training modules for you, and it's a great opportunity for you to understand, learn a little bit more, and then by working with us, you'll be able to be really successful. So like I said, you're getting the homework before we give it to you. So take advantage of it. All right. Yes, Tahimi, I am sending the presentation. Okay. And then now, once again, once you have already calculated the startup expenses, it is time to consider how to fund your venture. Oftentimes, businesses, they bootstrap, because If you're looking for investors, that means that you're giving up some ownership percentage, control over the direction of the business. But at the same time, how we talked about at first, we're trying to take those calculated risks. By doing so, please be aware that by doing so, you're assuming all the risk. It's going to impact your personal finances. It could delay your retirement if you're not careful. So by having those calculations, you'll be able to take those conservative risks. Now, here are some financing options for you. Some family, friends, and fools, mission-based lenders like a local CDFI, government agencies like the SBA, your neighborhood financial lender, or banking companies, crowdfunding, investors, venture capitalists. We have some really good webinars in the how to make your business investable, how to develop a VC pitch in case if you have a tech business looking for VC funds. We have great webinars on that side. But at the same time, we also have done a lot of presentations in terms of how to make your business bankable. What do you need? Understand your cash flows, your financial management, your income statements. So we have a lot of workshops and events, so you'll be able to understand it more. So think of this as the first step of a wide amount of library information for you in terms of getting the necessary capital, funds, and knowledge, so you'll be successful. Because at any time is money. So, and oftentimes it could be $1 million mistake, but we want to make sure that everything is done correctly in the right way. That's the end goal. And then last but not least, launching the business. So this is the final step that you will need to incorporate and launch your business. There are 4 major business forms of ownership. The sole proprietor, which is a business owned, usually managed by one person. A partnership, 2 or more people legally agree to become co-owners of the business. Think of it as marriage. A corporation is a legal entity with authority to act and have liability apart from its owners. And then the limited liability company, the LLC, is a protection from the owner from the personal liability from the debts that the business incurs. So it's 2 separate. It creates like a barrier between your own personal finance, your own personal debts versus the business that the business incurs. Frederick, do you want to elaborate more on the 4 forms?
I would like to also mention these are the 4 major type of business entity, legal entity. However, each one of those entities have their own separate legal variation. For example, a corporation can be also what we call a subchapter S corporation to avoid the double taxation between your personal earnings and the earning of the corporation. You have also corporation with voting stock, corporation with non-voting stock. You have what you call professional corporation, which are called PAs, like for lawyers, doctors, and so forth. So each one of those entities have their branch out to different type of sub-entities in terms of legal structure. Now, the sole proprietorship is basically being self-employed. The only thing you do is get a fictitious name to get a name for the business, unless you're an artist and you just do business under your own name, then you don't need to even register a name. However, under sole proprietorship, you are basically liable. So anything happens within the business, you will be sued, you will be responsible. And this is the reason why most people decide to create a limited liability company or to set up a corporation. Now, a partnership involves 2 or more people, but can also involve 2 or more entities. So, for example, you have your own corporation, your friend has another corporation, and both corporations can create a partnership, which gives you even more of that coverage of liability, because if anything happened to the partnership, then the corporation would be responsible, but the corporation has a limited liability towards the assets of the corporation. So, for example, if the corporation has $100,000 worth of assets, yes, you can get sued for up to 100,000, but they cannot go after your personal and private assets. Okay, so like I said, all these different structure will be addressed in my initial session. Once you have decided which entity is best for you, with the help of your CPA or legal counsel, because we cannot make the decision for you. However, once you are ready to create that legal entity, I will recommend to do it as soon as you can before you start conducting business. And as soon as you're registered as a business, that's when everything will go under the business, no longer under you. So you're covered legally for liability reasons.
And then, Frederick, I have a question for you. Forming an LLC, a registered agent is needed?
A registered agent is needed in the case of a corporation and also for an LLC. Registered agent, for those who don't know exactly what the role is, to receive legal receipt of documents. So for example, if the corporation or the LLC is being sued, the sheriff is going to be knocking at the door of the registered agent whose responsibility is to deliver the papers of the court to the manager or member of the limited liability company or to the officers and directors of the corporation. Now, if you are not residing of the state of Florida, you are going to need a local registered agent who could be very well your attorney or your CPA to represent you as a registered agent. So in any state that you conduct business, you need to have a registered agent. Now, if you are residing in the state of Florida, then you can be yourself your own registered agent. But be aware, you could be served papers because that's the role of a registered agent. What I would like to point out is before you you start incorporating on your own, please register with the center, get your initial session with me. That way you don't make certain mistakes when you complete those documents. Because time and time again, some clients have registered with us, but have actually registered their business the same day they registered with us. And unfortunately, they made mistakes, and all those mistakes needs to be worked, corrected. And that costs money with the filing with the Secretary of State and also headaches. So I really recommend you get your first initial session with me, and then I can get you started. In a nutshell, what you will do in our first session is register your business. Then as a step number 2, we will be recording the impact. For our center, it's very important to record impact, and I'm sure Jesus can bring that up also. As a step 3, we will handle all the license requirements needed for your business, including obtaining the EIN registration. Now, do not make the mistakes that some clients have made in the past, getting an EIN, which is a social security number for the business, prior incorporating the business. Because if the business is not available on Sundays, then you ended up having an EIN that is not accurate. So you cannot burn steps. You have to go step by step, and I will guide you through all those steps. Step number 4, we will look under corporate book and corporate documents, which is essential, like the business plan for your business. The corporate book is your a blueprint for your legal documents for the lifetime of your business. And then as stage number 5, I will introduce you with a business plan and prepare you for the business plan. And once I see that everything is in order, you will be referred to one of our specialist business plan consultants.
Yep. And at the same time, like in the last step, in terms of what Frederick was saying about business plan, like if you don't need a business plan, Frederick will also help you out to develop the website, the digital marketing, or the what's next, like the certifications for your business if you're in the government contracting industry. So right there, it will be like which is the route that it will be needed for your business venture. So, and then Victor, in terms of your question of the most of the strategies for marketing have changed to e-commerce and e-marketing. yes, you could definitely work with Frederick and our other consultants in the marketing side, in helping you out on that side. So we'll be more happy to support you, and I'll be able to in the chat my email. So if there's any additional questions, I'll be able to connect you with the appropriate channels and the next steps to do so. Okay.
Jesus, I would like to answer a question from Leah that is asking about trademark, if she can create a trademark under the limited liability company. Trademark, copywriting, and all these actions can be done under any legal entity, whether it's a corporation or an LLC, or even as a sole proprietorship, because it has nothing to do with the corporate body. However, you want the corporation to own those trademarks or copyrights and so forth. So that's the reason why incorporating or creating an LLC is key to go further with trademarking and copywriting. Also, what I would like to answer the question to Veronica Pena, how long should we realistically plan for all of this process to take? Well, I'm telling you, you could incorporate by tonight, or I mean, realistically, it will take, it doesn't take long to incorporate. What takes long though is being approved by the Secretary of State. Sunbees right now has delays in terms of registration. They will accept your registration, but it may take a week or so to be in the system. However, with my help, you will be, you could incorporate, let's say you register with a center, your file is referred to me, but by the end of our session, it will take you maybe an hour to do the paperwork, and you can be incorporated on the spot once it shows on Sunbees. Now, of course, planning and financing, all those sessions 1 through 5 that I mentioned, will take, probably a good 10 days to a month if done properly. So I hope I answered your question. And yes, John, I'm sure Jesus will provide my email, but like I said, if you register with our center and ask for my services, you will be referred to me, and I can have a one-on-one counseling session with you.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Frederick, that this will be more for you, the next slide or the following slide, which will be for Melanie Cross. Okay. So pretty much by launching the business, depending on the industry, the products and services, certain business structures may have advantages, some disadvantages. Obviously, the factors to consider is the personal liabilities, the taxes are being paid, the paperwork that is required to file with the government. So by all means, like I said, the full disclaimer, consult with your attorney or accountant based on the considerations of your venture. And the SPA, along with Frederick's information, will be able to give you the general traits of the business structure of the business. And Leah, our center is located here in Miami-Dade and Monroe County. Our physical office is located in Miami-Dade, but we cover the Miami-Dade and the Keys. If your business or business venture that you want to launch is outside our region, by all means, email me the necessary, your email, and I'll be able to connect you with the appropriate center to address your needs based on the licensing and permits for that particular area.
I would like to address also a critical question that is mostly asked regarding address for the business, virtual office, PO box, and so forth. My recommendation, if you are conducting a home-based business, is never, ever use your home address, because once you put your home address on Sunbees, it's become public record. So what I will recommend is to get either a virtual office address or a PO box. But if you get a PO box, once you open your PO box, you may want to ask the postmaster to get what you call an enhanced PO Box service address, and they will provide you an actual physical address for that PO Box. And you could use that address for the business. The easiest way to also put an address is to get a UPS address, but that is most costly than a PO Box. So these are my recommendations. Now, you could also use your home address. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it becomes public record. And if
Right. And a perfect example would be like, like if you are in the makeup industry and, like my wife uses lipstick and looks great on her, but I put it on and I get an allergic reaction, I could definitely sue because makeup industry is one of the most litigious industries out there. So I could definitely look at Frederick Bono makeup and beauty cosmetics. I could look him up on Sunbiz, knock on his door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm suing you because look what you did to my face. So that's something that, to mitigate and triage those awkward scenarios if something were happen to your business. All right.
You may want to address John Gibson. Do all centers assist with business entity formation like what Frederick was offering? Of course,
yes. And I've been in communication with John, and I'll be able to connect you, John, with our colleagues at the Florida SBDC at USF in the Tampa, Hillsborough, Pasco County area.
Leah Ginasu also asked about where is your center located. I am in Palm Beach, so that will be referred to our Palm Beach office, I believe, FAU.
Yes, at Florida Atlantic University. Leah, there's my email address. Send me an email, and I'll be able to do the virtual introduction to our colleagues over at FAU. Okay. And Melanie, I'm not forgetting about you. The next slide will be yours.
And I wanted also to mention regarding the address. Let's say you put your home address, and as a competitor or as a client, I'm going to research everything about your business, and I'm going to Google your address. And by Googling your address, if I see a nice barbecue and a boat on the dock or whatever, it's going to tell me right away that you're a home-based business, and I may not do business with you. That's the reason why it's important to actually locate your business in a business district and use your post office and UPS and all that. They are located in a business location.
And then at the same token, the first plan of attack is search your name for your business name on Sunbiz. Make sure that all your business idea, the name of the business is not already taken, or there's a similar name that's already been existing.
Let me point out to Jesus, to add to Jesus' comment about searching for a name. When you search for a name, let's say you search for ABC Inc. or ABC LLC, you're going to see a bunch of companies with the same name. But if you look very carefully, you will see that one of them is written with A.B.C. Well, just by adding a dot, it makes a different name than the actual ABC without a dot. Now, you're going to see also names that says inactive. Now, if it says inactive, that means the name of the company may very well be available. However, I usually recommend people to choose a name that is not on the list, because you don't want to end up inheriting a name that basically had a bad image or had filed for bankruptcy or whatever, that anything can really affect your business in the future. So it's better to always choose a name that really is different from the other names.
Yep. So the Sunbiz, it's via the state of Florida. This is also another opportunity for you for legal forms, the business regulations, how to create a fictitious name for your business where applicable. Okay. Now, for the EIN, like what Frederick was saying, the EIN is your business social security number. This helps out to register your business entity, obtain business loans, open business bank accounts, and is needed for tax filing and reporting purposes. All right. And also the irs.gov website has information for you.
I would like to point out that on the EIN number, which of course happens after you incorporate the business, once you get your EIN number, The key thing is to update your Sunbiz record, because you will see that the EIN section will say none. That means you have not applied for an EIN. Even though you may have an EIN, it will show none. And if you want to open a bank account, let's say the bank will look at Sunbiz, and if they don't see the EIN, they may not let you open that bank account unless you provide them with a proof. So it's very important to list that EIN on Sunbiz records. Now, some clients are telling me, but isn't that like a social security that you don't give to no one? Well, contrary to our personal social security number, on the business side, it has to be displayed. That's the legal immatriculation of our businesses, okay? So it's very important to list it.
And then at the same time, this is going to be for Melanie in terms of the business licensing. It all determines based on where the actual business will be located. If you're starting to open up the business here in Miami-Dade County, the county has a good website to launch your business, information in terms of the permits, the licensing, the requirements, the employer resources that is needed to do business here in the county. Now, if you want to do business in the city of Doral or city of Hialeah or Miami Beach, there are special permits that is needed to do business in that municipality. So it's best to start as a whole, as a big funnel, the state of Florida, your local, and your neighborhood. So right there, it helps you be compliant, and Frederick will be able to assist you to cross the T's, dot the I's to make sure that everything is in compliance for you. Because the last thing that you don't want is starting your business, and unfortunately, you might get fines or the information gets bounced back. And like I said, time is money, and we want to make sure that everything is done correctly the right way the first time, because we want you to prosper and continue to excel in the products and services that you'll be providing in your neighborhood.
I will also assist our newcomers of how to create what we call a DBA, doing business as, which is basically a fictitious name for sole proprietorship. But if you have, let's say, an existing corporation, but you want to branch out to a different activity of the business, then I recommend to create a DBA, which is registering also a fictitious name, but the owner will be the corporation or the LLC.
Yep. Then in doing so, this is a good opportunity for you to get the local business tax receipt or the occupational license. Like I said, or depending on the municipality, the certificate of use. Like just like how it is with some biz, it's a once a year. You have to renew it, just like renewing your car tag. The same thing, renewing your business on some biz. And at the same time, your local business tax receipt, it's once a year, beginning in October 1st. So the best rule of thumb is, like how they say, new year, new me. New year, let's renew all the documents for my business, so that you don't have to worry about it, because there's fines. You have to reinstate them. That's saying you don't want to incur more costs that you don't deserve to incur, because you want to make sure everything is good to go.
Sunbiz is very critical about the annual report. The annual report is the renewal of your corporate registration with the Secretary of State. It is very important to do that renewal between January 1st and May 1st. After May 1st, you will be in default, and they charge you per day that you have not reactivated the business. And fines can go all the way to the thousands of dollars to reinstate that corporation. So do not let that lapse. It's very important. And at the same time, when you file your annual report, that's when you can make all the changes in your corporate documents. Let's say you change address. You want to even change the name of the company, or you want to change the officers and directors, or the members and manager of the LLC. You can do all that at no extra cost during the annual report. If you have to do that after the annual report has been submitted already, then you're going to have to file what we call an amendment. An amendment can be very costly.
And then at the same time, the Florida SBDC network, they have created a 6-part video series. So you'll be able to watch it and able to hone it down and tie in everything together based on your idea, understanding the market, the capitals, what's needed to write a business plan. So pretty much everything that we have presented is also, you can also use it as leverage for the 6-part series as well, that the Florida SBDC network has for you. In addition, right here is the link to the website, but also our YouTube channel. We have a number of recorded webinars that can assist you. And here's our YouTube channel. Definitely is from all different topics: how to start your business, marketing, capital, government contracting. It's a good opportunity for you to take advantage. All of our services is confidential and no cost to you. So it's a great opportunity to have an idea to excel, and at the same time take your business to the next level, even from a business idea to launch. Or I've been in business for 3 years, how do I take it to the next level? We have specialized consultants, once again, at no cost to you, that can help you out. Pretty much these are some of the main links that we have addressed and discussed throughout today's presentation: the bplans.com, the business planning center, how to start your business, where's the website, the sba.gov has the full templates, additional information to address the questions that you might have, the Miami-Dade County business website, how to start your business in Miami-Dade, and also the state of Florida business regulations for the licensings and that's needed and for your business. And last but not least, we have an upcoming event or webinar on May 10th, which is franchising. So obviously we're talking about how to start your own business, but if you're looking on a business on a kit, this is a good opportunity for you to take advantage, understand, what it needs, what you need for to have a franchise, what's the model, and at the same token, what it takes to be a franchisee owner. And I'm just going to open up the floor with questions. I know that we have been talking throughout the presentation, answering some of your questions, but I'm definitely going to open it up for the Q&A. If you have any questions, by all means, I encourage you to put in the Q&A. Like I said, the webinar is being recorded. Will be, once it's uploaded on YouTube channel, we'll provide you the link along with today's presentation as well, and also my contact information. So if you have any questions, by all means, we serve as strangers, we're living as family. I'm here to help you out any way I can, along with connecting you with the appropriate SBDC center that can also assist you with your business needs in your local neighborhood. And then I'll go ahead and start the questions right now. For Victor, I have a few from you. So if you need capital to start the business, do we need to have good credit? Well, it's going to be one of the 5 C's. What's your capacity? Can you incur more debt? Do you have any collateral at hand? How much money are you bringing into the picture to have that initial investment? Some of the financial institutions, they recommend to have at least a good 6 months of projected, actual sales. So right there, we're able to do the forecasting, the projections, and the scalability and the bankability of the business. So having a good credit, is a good start, but it's also, is the business sustainable on that side? Frederick, for you, I'm in the skincare and I do handcrafted the products at home in a small lab using good manufacturing practice. Do I need a special permit from the state of Florida to become a vendor?
I understand that some of our clients that do operate this kind of activity, they, as long as it's not the manufacturing part of the product and it's basically the bottling and the packaging, yeah, that can be done at home. But anything that is mixing, the raw material and producing that product, usually it's done through one of those houses that basically specialize in cosmetic, and you provide them basically with your formula, and they provide you the gallons of it, and that's for you to repackage it. So of course, you are going to need some license requirements, but definitely for home-based business, anything that is packaging and basically you use it as a fulfillment, then you're limited in terms of the type of licensing you need at that point.
And then in terms of is there any financing with financially with startups? Yes, but at the same time, like it's the different traction of the last 6 months of the business. At the same token, it's a good opportunity to have a small micro loan. It's a small loan to assist you with the launching of the business, but you have to have some traction, and then at the same token, it's helping you to repay back that loan. Obviously, it's the infusion of sales based as a result of that loan, so that you're able to present it to the bigger financial institutions to become more bankable. So there's a process, there's a method to the madness, but at a conservative rate for you to obtain the necessary funds for your business.
I
Yeah,
would
go ahead,
like
Frederick.
I would like to mention that once you incorporate your business, it's going to take 3 years for you to become what you call SME, small and medium-sized enterprise. And those 3 years are crucial because that's what creates, credit history for your business and longevity in your business for potential loan and financing in the future. It's exactly like our personal credit. If you have no credit, it's bad credit. So as a business, once you incorporate, you want to establish some accounts, some credit accounts. You want to also establish a good rapport with your bank. So little by little, you can build up that credit for the business.
Yep. Yep. And then, Frederick, this will be more for you. Is that diversification of a business a good idea or not? Sometimes I find out if I give too many options, the customers get distracted and lose interest.
I will agree with that. If you have too many division within the business, it's hard already enough to handle one specific aspect of the business than if you have multiple activity. However, like I mentioned earlier, if for each activity of your business, you can create what you call a DBA, doing business as such activity. And what happens is once that activity is performing well, what you want to do is incorporate it separate, take it out of that initial business. That way you don't put all the eggs under the same basket. And if one of those entities goes bad, then it doesn't affect the other corporation. So DBAs are for that purpose. But like I said, baby step and start, one entity, make it work well. Then you have another idea, business idea. You can either create a new business or create a DBA at first. And then when it becomes successful, separate it as a separate business entity.
And then, Frederick, last question. Would you say there is a disadvantage to having a virtual office business address over an actual physical address?
If there is I did not understand the question. Is there a disadvantage?
Yeah, to having a virtual office business address over an actual physical address.
Well, an actual physical address is location, 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 and that's if you have rapport with your clients. You want clients to come and visit you in your office or your warehouse or your showroom or your brick and mortar. Now, a digital address, if you are an e-commerce based business, then that's perfectly all right to do it under a virtual address. Now, a virtual address, if you're talking about one of those places where you can rent office by the hour and so forth and have access to conference room, a lot of businesses operate that way also, but it can be costly. Keep that in mind. You want, at first, when you start your business, keep your overheads low.
Yep. So like I said, right here's the QR code for you to register for consulting. That Frederick will be more happy to assist you. If your business is located or will be located here in Miami-Dade, Monroe County. If your business is located outside of our region, by all means, I strongly encourage you to register. But I will do the virtual introduction to our colleagues across the entire state of Florida. to assist you with in your local SBDC. So like I said, we're family. Here's the link to register. We'll be more than happy to connect you with the appropriate consultants, the areas of assistance that you're seeking. Like I said, we're family, and anything that we can do to help you out, we're an email, phone call away to address your business needs. So thank you again for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you to all.